Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all the board members. For those who you don't know me yet, I am Haizul Azizi Rambli. I'm here in my function as the senior manager for one of your hotels in Klang. So I hope everyone is okay and please stay safe, stay at home and be healthy. So today I'm going to present to you about the impacts of COVID-19 to the industry, to the economy, and also the short terms and the long terms solutions for it. As well as we can know, this COVID-19 has been devastating our nation ever since December 2019, which originated in China. And then we had our first global infection in January 2020. So from there on, since I believe our government have taken some initiative and steps to prevent further outbreaks of the COVID-19 pandemic by implementing Movement Control Order or MCOs. So in this presentation, I'm going to present on the impacts of these actions on the COVID-19, on the industry and the economy, as well as the short terms and also the long term solutions for it. Let's hop to it. There are negative impacts of COVID-19 to the hospitality industries as well, the tourism industries. So, for example, we can see that immediately after the pandemic breakout globally in the late December 2019 and early 2020s, we can see that the number of international and local visitors have plummeted, nosedive, dwindled down due to these travel bans and restrictions imposed by the government globally, not just Malaysia. I believe most of the countries in the world during that time imposed very, very strict restrictions and travel bans. Therefore, travelers are more reluctant to travel because their fear of the infection. As you can see over here, based on the statistics from Tourism Malaysia in 2021, in comparison of tourist arrivals and receipts to Malaysia according to year, you can see that the year 2020 and the year 29 or even 2018, in 2020, there are only about 4.3 million people coming to Malaysia, and our revenue generated is around 12.4 billion. This is, if you compare in the year for the 2019, in 2019, we have 26 million people coming to Malaysia, and we generated a revenue of 86.1 billion. So as you can see, in 2020, our arrivals was down by 83.4%, and our revenues, our receipts were down by 85.3%. That is very bad. So as a result of these travel bans and restrictions, most of the travelers, they canceled their reservations on the rooms and events. So this, and of course, the company, the hotels, even the travel agencies, they have to give refunds back to the people. I think it's about 500 million ringgit in terms of refunds due to this travel ban and restrictions order. This has severely affected our tourism and hotel industry, especially because we have the Visit Malaysia in the year 2020. So we are expecting more and more people are coming to Malaysia. So this resulted in the loss of revenue, especially in the hospitality industry, such as hotels, travel agencies, tourism, food and beverages, entertainment and recreation. I believe not just hospitality, most of the economics in our nation and even globally are severely affected, negatively affected by this COVID-19 pandemic. As you can see over here, based on these statistics from the Malaysian Association of Hotel in 2020, Due to this pandemic, the industry had suffered a loss of revenue approximately 68 million ringgit due to room reservation cancellations in between early 2020s, like from January to March. So can you just imagine up until now, how many losses are we taking? Based on the last article that I read, every 2 weeks of MCO that we endure, the industry suffered a loss of 50 million ringgit for every 2 weeks. And of course, since we are not getting a lot of profits in our company, we have to find our ways, short-term ways, methods of dealing with this. So most of it, we have to cut our costs. So by cutting costs, we would refer to the retrenchment and the voluntary retirement, and also the indefinite period of unpaid leaves that impacted to the employees. This may ultimately result in the loss of some good employees in the company. Not just our company, I believe most of them are going on unpaid leaves or even pay cuts just for the business to stay afloat. So based on this Malaysian Association of Hotels in 2020, based on 41,000 employees in the industry, 26% of them was given an indefinite unpaid leaves, which means they were given unpaid leaves without any certain period of days. Of course, they were saying for the first time it's just for first 30 days, but I think maybe until now, some of them are not given any paid yet and still are on unpaid leaves. 20% of them has taken pay cuts, around 30% to 50% of salary cuts. I believe the top management is getting the most cuts and then goes downwards for the rest of the employees. And sadly, about 6% was laid off because in order to stay afloat, they have to cut the cost even more. And most of these 6% are just non-essential employees, which they can use to have outsourced employees maybe. So as you can see over here, based on the statistics, less than 50% of the labor force remains to operate the hotels. So it's very sad, man. Very sad. So in order for us to overcome this problem, one of the short-term solutions is that we need to reduce our operating costs, whereby we can utilize the government's tourism stimulus. For example, they gave us some utility bill discounts of 15%, tourism tax exemption for about 6 months, and they also give out payroll subsidies for us to help pay our employees, which is very, very, very helpful. So we can also resort to unpaid leaves, pay cuts for staff, just for the time being, just until the pandemic subsides. And we also will need to conserve the energy in our buildings, whereby we need to shut down lamps and air conditioners when not in use. Even though we are given the 15% discount, that doesn't mean we have to be very, we need to conserve energy, yeah. And last but not least, maybe we need to use the online platform such as the Foodpanda or GrabFood to promote our food and beverages in the hotel. Okay, so we got to the long-term solutions for this post-COVID-19 strategies. I believe we need to maintain our current SOP, standard operating procedure. For example, taking temperatures, MySejahtera registration, social distancing, and make sure that the hand sanitizers are used at all times.
This is, I think, maybe until the pandemic is under control and we have totally vaccinated our population. And besides that, I believe we need to also focus on our online and digital marketing through multiple channels such as Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And before we can put any content inside that, I think we need to invest in some of the content production, such as making some advertisement videos. This is for us to keep up with the trend right now. I believe most people would like to see very, very inspirational or interesting videos for them to be interested in our hotel. Last but not least is we need to listen to our customers' needs. This post-COVID-19 have changed the travelers' behavior significantly because they are more and more aware on their medical and health problems. So we need to listen to them on what their needs are.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is all the presentation I have for you today. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are some negative impacts of COVID-19 to our hospitality industry. For example, the loss of revenue, retrenchment, and the worst case scenario is that some hotels are even shutting down or going out of business. So I hope it doesn't come to that for our hotel. As such, I believe all the short-term and the long-term solutions that I have given earlier can be implemented, and I seriously hope and pray that we can get through all this, and hopefully we can become normal just like before the pandemic. This is Haizul signing off.